Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Dayna Jennings. First I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Dayna Michelle Jennings was born in December 1973 and lived in the state of California. Her father's name was William Musick, who went by the name Bill. Her mother's name was Terry. Bill and Terry married in 1968, 2 years after Bill graduated from high school. Bill served in the Marine Corps during the Vietnam War. When his service was complete, he took a job with Northrop Air and Space as a machinist. Dayna had one brother, Brian, who was born in 1977. In 1995, Dayna's father, Bill, was laid off from Northrop. This led to stress in his marriage and eventually a divorce. In 1996, Bill moved to Federal Heights, Colorado, and purchased a 1,300-square-foot house at 10022 North Elliott Circle. He found work as a security guard at a hospital. Dayna remained in California. She married and divorced twice and had a series of low-level jobs. Eventually, Dayna moved to Colorado to be close to her father. She operated a massage therapy business. In 2006, Dayna married her third husband, a man named Joel Jennings. They had a daughter in 2011 and divorced in 2014. Dayna and Joel shared custody of their daughter. After the divorce, Dayna married her fourth husband, a man named Chris Newton. After running into some financial problems, Dayna, her daughter, and Chris moved into Bill's house in Federal Heights. Bill moved into his basement, and everyone else lived upstairs. In November 2017, Dayna closed her massage therapy business, and Chris moved out of Bill's house. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On December 28, 2017, at 7:19 p.m., Bill's brother, Robert Musick, called 911 and requested a welfare check. Robert had not spoken to Bill since December 5, 2017, and was concerned about him. When the police paid a visit to Bill's house, Dayna answered the door and said, "He doesn't really live here." She stated that her father, Bill, had not been there for 10 days or so. After hearing more concerns from family members, the police decided to pay another visit. On December 29, one officer made his way to Bill's house and asked Dayna for permission to come inside, which she granted. Dayna told the officer that Bill went on a trip to the mountains with his girlfriend and left his cell phone behind. It had been several weeks since Dayna saw her father. The officer found this curious because Bill's vehicles were still at his house. Inside the house, there was an unspeakable stench, like garbage cans had somehow learned to vomit. Dayna told the officer that a toilet had overflowed in the basement. The officer left the house both confused and concerned. Something didn't quite smell right, both literally and figuratively. Investigators followed up on what Dayna said about Bill going on a trip with his girlfriend. The girlfriend's name was Martha. As it turns out, she really wasn't Bill's girlfriend. They were just friends. Martha told the police that she last saw Bill during a trip they took together on December 2. Bill was supposed to attend a Christmas party on December 9, but he wasn't there. Martha did not hear from him at all. The same officer who visited Bill's house on December 29 stopped by a few days later. This time, Dayna told him that Bill's phone and some money she left on the counter were gone, which meant that Bill must have been there. Dayna indicated that she was irritated by the police constantly asking her questions about Bill. She did not know where he was and wanted to be left alone. On January 6, 2018, 9 days after Bill was reported missing, the police met with several family members and friends. They learned that the last time anyone saw Bill was on December 9, 2017. Bill's son Brian told the police something particularly worrisome. On December 7, Bill sent him a text message saying that he had been unconscious for 15 hours in a recliner after taking a bite of a hamburger that Dayna brought to him. 2 weeks later, Dayna texted Brian saying that Bill was mistreating her and having trouble making payments on the house. As the investigation continued, the police learned that in December 2017, Dayna ordered 2 dumpsters to be delivered to her father's house. She was removing flooring and carpeting from the house. It seemed strange to investigators that Dayna would be doing major renovations on her own. When the police looked into Bill's cell phone activity, they noticed that he sent his sister a text message on December 29. It was a photograph of mountains. When the message was sent, Bill's phone was near his house. On January 10, 2018, the police executed a search warrant on Bill's house. Dayna was taken to a police station to be interviewed at the same time. Inside the house, the police found that someone had poured concrete in the crawl space. When firefighters came in to break up the concrete, they found the body of 69-year-old Bill Musick. Back at the police station, Dayna requested an attorney as soon as she found out the concrete in the crawl space was being broken apart. Dayna was arrested for murder. Through an examination of Dayna's cell phone, the police learned that in late November 2017, she placed an order on eBay for a horse tranquilizer called isopromazine. This drug was found in Bill's system during the autopsy. On July 8, 2019, Dayna went to trial. Her defense admitted that Dayna put her father's dead body in concrete in the crawl space of his house. They also admitted that Bill died after being poisoned with isopromazine. According to the defense, this was just a big mistake. Dayna purchased the drug and gave it to her father in order to help him sleep. She had no intention to kill him. His death was accidental. On July 15, 2019, Dayna Jennings was convicted of first-degree murder and tampering with a deceased human body. She was sentenced to a term of life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 6 years. On April 23, 2023, Dayna's conviction was overturned because the search warrant for her cell phone was determined to be unconstitutional. According to the Colorado Department of Corrections inmate locator, Dayna is still in prison. She was sentenced to 43 years on July 19, 2024. It's not clear what happened. The media did not follow her story after her original conviction. Maybe she pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. That's a pretty common outcome in cases where a verdict is overturned. Either way, Dayna Jennings will be eligible for parole in June 2048 at the age of 74. She must be released by March 2059 when she will be 85 years old. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. There isn't much question that Dayna deliberately murdered her father, Bill. Dayna ordered horse tranquilizer, which she gave to her father, causing his death. She buried her father under concrete in his crawl space. On the last day Bill was seen alive, Dayna searched the internet for how long does it take a body to decompose. She maxed out his credit card, made cash withdrawals from his bank accounts, and repeatedly lied to the police about what happened to him. Dayna did not seem too upset about her father's death. For instance, 11 days after killing him, Dayna sent a message to a friend which read, "Life is so different now. I feel so much better." Dayna only argued that the killing was accidental because she had no other choice. The evidence against her was overwhelming. Item number 2. When a child kills a father, it is referred to as patricide. This crime is extremely rare. Female patricidal offenders are almost unheard of. Therefore, research on this topic involves a very limited number of participants. Even so, the studies have revealed a few tendencies about these types of offenses. For example, the victim tends to be tyrannical and has a history of violence. There is a long-term pattern of mistreatment against the daughter. The murder is often retaliation for the bad behavior. The female perpetrator is usually psychotic or has personality pathology. She tends to be socially isolated, romantically unsuccessful, and younger. 50% of the killers are under 20 years old. Offenders can usually be divided into 3 categories: victims of mistreatment, severely mentally ill, and dangerously antisocial. As far as how these tendencies align with this case, an ex-husband of Dayna said that she had borderline personality disorder. That, of course, qualifies as personality pathology. Dayna aligned with the typical offender characteristics in a few other ways as well. For example, she was socially isolated and romantically unsuccessful. While Dayna may have been a partial match to the typical perpetrator profile, it was a different story for Bill as far as the victim profile. His behavior did not align with the typical victim characteristics at all. There is no evidence that Bill ever mistreated Dayna. He was not violent. He was not tyrannical. Dayna claimed that she adored Bill. Only after she murdered him did Dayna claim that Bill was harmful to her. This brings me to item number 3. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Dayna was self-centered, impulsive, irresponsible, immature, erratic, greedy, sensation-seeking, cold, callous, sadistic, vindictive, perfidious, antagonistic, manipulative, deceptive, had a sense of entitlement, and was exceedingly creepy. The theme of Dayna's life is that she was unsuccessful in every endeavor she attempted. People like this can be particularly dangerous to loved ones as they desperately try to reverse course and find success at any cost. They don't care who they have to harm. Dayna thought of her father as an object. He was simply there to provide for her needs. When Dayna ran into financial trouble, she realized that she may be better off with Bill dead. It's also possible that the idealization-devaluation cycle that is seen with borderline personality led to this decision. Like Dayna really loved her father for a while, but that attitude shifted dramatically and she grew to hate him intensely. Whatever the mechanism of the decision, Dayna followed through by using horse tranquilizer. She believed that if she buried her father's body under concrete in the crawl space, she could escape responsibility. Dayna did not understand how people would miss him and contact the authorities, because she didn't miss him. She was not capable of seeing anything from another person's perspective, only her own. When the police paid Dayna a visit, she realized she was in trouble, but she did not have time to get rid of the body. All she could do was lie and claim that she killed her father by accident. By all accounts, Bill was a good man who viewed Dayna as someone who needed his help. Dayna viewed Bill as an expendable resource. Those are my thoughts in the case of Dayna Jennings. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.